Okay, so yesterday we discussed about different levels of software testing. Okay, so we'll continue that. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the different levels of testing to improve the quality of the software product. So these are the main levels: unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Okay, so these are the main important different levels of testing. So along with that, there are non-functional testing. Non-functional testing such as uh, load testing, performance testing, volume testing, sanity testing, smoke testing. So there are various methods are there. For any product to improve the quality, we need to go for the various software testing methods. Okay. So these are all content we covered, and each of these levels has a specific purpose. Okay, all the levels are having a specific purpose. Like the unit testing that tests the individual component, individual modules or individual component. Then integration testing that integrate the different modules or unit. Okay, integrate means integration between the or data flow or communication between the two modules. Okay, then system test. So system test that test the entire system after the integration. Entire means the complete system. Okay, then acceptance testing test the final system. So each level has a specific purpose. Okay, and in each level we'll find out the various defects or errors that detects. Okay, then unit testing in detail, as we already yesterday discussed with some examples. Okay, in your MCQ you may get a questions. This unit testing is done by the developers. Unit testing is done by the developers, not a testers. You may get a MCQ questions. Unit testing is done by software tester or developer. It is done by the developer before the setup is handed over to the testing team. Okay. So unit testing is done by the developers before it is handed over to the testing team to formally execute the test cases. So unit testing is performed by the respective developers on the individual units of source code that are assigned areas. Okay. So just keep in mind unit testing is done by the developers. Okay, because they need to verify the source code. So the goal of unit testing is to isolate each part of the program and show that individual parts are correct in terms of the requirements and functionality. Okay, each module. For example, there is a login function module. Okay, so the source code it should verify that all the like username, password, forget password, all this functionality it should cover. Okay. Then the limitation, what are the drawbacks of unit testing? Testing, it cannot catch each and every bug in an application. Okay, that is the drawback. Means as we are testing the functionality in individual module. Okay, problem when it arises when it integrate with another module. Okay, when it integrate with another module, that problem arises. So testing cannot catch each and every bug in an application. So it is impossible to evaluate every execution path in every software application. That path, the flow, okay, the coverage, source code coverage, it is not possible uh, for the entire application. So there is a limit to the number of scenarios and the test data that a developer can use to verify the source code. So after having exhausted all the options, there is no choice but to stop the unit testing. So the unit testing is that it cannot catches all the defects. Okay. Because when problem arises, when it integrates with another module. So integration testing is defined as testing of combined parts of an application. Combined parts of an application to determine if they function correctly, integrating the different modules. So there are main important types. There are various types are there in integration. The important type is that bottom up integration and top down integration. For example, so here this is a one module 1, and there is another module 2. So if the flow of data from module 1 to module 2, that is top down approach. Top down, okay, top down integration testing, okay, top down. Then if there is a module 1, module 2, this is bottom up, okay, means you are going from bottom to up, this base module to the upper module. So here from this module to this module, so top down, bottom up, the integration means you are integrating bottom up integration testing and top down integration testing. So bottom up integration technique, it begins with the unit testing followed by the test of progressively higher level combinations of units. Okay, higher level combination of the units. Like, okay, so here bottom to up. You are progressively you are going from bottom to up. These are the modules. Huh? For example, you can consider it is a login page. Okay, it is a payment transfer module. Then it is a logout module, or it is a balance account. So likewise, these are the various modules. Hmm? So bottom up, then top down. In this testing, the highest level modules are tested first, progressively, and lower level modules are tested thereafter. Okay, top to bottom means first we will cover the top modules. Here we will first we will test this one. Okay, then after that we will test go for this one, means the connection. Suppose if there are modules are there, we will go with these modules, then we will come to this module, but it should be a connection, integration between the modules, top to bottom, as the name indicates, top down, bottom up. Okay, so that is about integration testing and system testing, where the system as a whole, the complete system means all the modules of a software testing, all the modules. Once all the components are integrated, okay, the application as a whole is tested rigorously to see that it meets the specified quality standard. So this type of testing is performed specialized testing teams. Means it is a complete product with all the modules. So testing team is important because of the following reason. As system is testing is the first step in the SDLC cycle where application is tested as a whole. Okay. So system testing means it is like one of the phase like in software development model. Okay. As we have the phases like requirement, design, coding, then testing. We have the different phases. Okay. So here, if you consider this testing, this is a complete phase. So this testing means it is a system testing. Means we are testing a complete the module of this particular SDLC process. Okay, system testing is the first step of the software development lifecycle where the application is tested as a whole. The application is tested thoroughly to verify that it meets the functional and technical specification. Okay, the features and also the technical the requirements for particular software product. So the application is tested in an environment that is very close to the production environment where the application will be deployed. Okay, it is a final stage system that enables us to test, verify, validate both the business requirement as well as the application architecture. Then regression testing. So regression means, just keep in mind, regression means after making some changes in the software. Regression. Okay, means if you have modified or if you have made some changes in the software application is made, and it is quite possible that the other areas within the application have been affected by this change. Okay, so here this suppose here in the regression testing, this is a module 1 and module 2. Okay, so here it is integrated. Okay, so so the developer, what he does, he will modify the features, modify the features, modify the features in this particular module. Okay, so after making the changes, okay, it should not affect to this M2 module. Okay, there should not be a change. Means the initially was the it is working fine. Module 1 and module 2 both are working fine. Okay, so this is module 1, module 2 of a software application. Both are working fine. Okay, so as the customer requirement changes, okay, so the developer, what he does, he adds some features, he makes some changes in the code, modify the features. So after making the changes, it should work as the earlier. Okay, after making the changes in the module 1, it should not affect to the module 2. Means it should work fine, it should work as earlier. So whenever a change in the software application is made, it is quite possible that other areas within the application have been affected by this change. Means it should not affect. Okay. After making the changes in the module 1, it should not affect to the module 2. Okay, because initially it was working fine. Initially the module 1, it was module 1 and module 2 both working fine, but as the customer requirement changes, we modified, and once we modified, it should not affect to module 2. So that is the regression testing. Regression testing is performed to verify that a fixed bug has not resulted in any other functionality or business rule violation. The intent of regression testing is to ensure that a change such as the bug fix should not result in another fault. एक बार चेंज किया है अभी कुछ बग्स वगैरह फिक्स करने के बाद it should not create another fault. Okay, that is being undiscovered in the application. Okay, after making the changes, ये मॉड्यूल 1 में हमने चेंज किया है and after making the changes it should not affect or it should not create a new fault or bug. Okay, see for example, suppose if there is a balance of 10,000, suppose balance अकाउंट ये है मॉड्यूल और बैलेंस में ना पेमेंट ट्रांसफर करने के बाद like suppose you consider this only payment transfer and here the balance module. तो बैलेंस कितना है अभी सपोज 10,000 है 10,000 is the balance. Okay, so 10,000 बैलेंस है and पेमेंट ट्रांसफर मॉड्यूल में क्या होता है as we are transferring some 1,000 rupees. Okay, तो यहाँ कितना हुआ बैलेंस अभी यहाँ ये इसमें चेंजेस कितना होना चाहिए बैलेंस में 9,000 remaining balance. Okay, suppose in this particular payment transfer module, so they implement one feature like tax deduction. Okay, tax deduction or some suppose ATM charge amount, ATM charge. So suppose I think yearly they deduct some around 143 or 153 some amount is there, they deduct from everyone's. Okay, so this is the amount these features they are added in the particular module, payment transfer module. So after adding this feature, okay, 143 is deducted. It should deduct every year. Okay, so once we added this feature, there should be a deduction, and it should affect in the balance. Suppose after adding the feature, if it is not working, this deduction from the balance is not working, the feature is added like every year some ATM service charge it should detect from the account. But if it is not affecting, then that leads a fault or failure, fault or bug. Because once this feature is added, it should applicable. Otherwise, it is lost. Okay. So with software application, what we are doing, we are finding solutions. So regression testing is important because the following reason: it minimizes the gaps in testing when the application with changes made has to be tested. Testing the new changes to verify that changes made did not affect any other area. After the making the changes, it should not affect to any other area. Mitigates the risk. Okay. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ये जो है ना 143 डिडक्ट होना चाहिए that we are testing that after adding this feature whether it is working or whether it is not, is there any changes that we are testing, so that is called as the regression testing. Okay, once we added the feature this deduction, it should affect means वो होना चाहिए applicable होना चाहिए वहाँ. Okay, it should applicable to this module. Okay, so that we are testing अभी हो रहा है तो okay it is working, so that is your regression testing, means you are done a regression testing after making the changes in the module. Okay, you are checking that it is not affecting to the another module. Okay, it mitigates the risk. Okay, Then test coverage is increased without the compromising timelines, increase the speed to market the product. So this will helpful to because this testing is very important. Okay, as we normally do the changes as the customer requirement changes. Okay, customer requirements change, so we need to accept those changes and we need to adopt. Okay, otherwise it is very difficult to survive in the market because every day the customer requirements will change. Like for example, like in Afghanistan. Okay, in Afghanistan, as due to that crisis. Okay, in the Afghanistan, in ATMs and all. Okay, to withdraw the amount, to withdraw the money. Okay, withdraw the money. They set some limit. Like daily, they should only withdraw from their account 2,000 rupees only. They cannot withdraw more than 2,000 rupees. Okay, so in the banking software they set this limit. It was a requirement there, as many people at a time they are withdrawing the money from their bank and ATMs. It is necessary now because of the shortage in the, okay, because of the issues in their organ, the management, okay, in the country. Okay, so now it is required. It is required that the people they should not withdraw because everyone should get the money. Okay, that we have to think in that way, and we should set a limit that no one should get a amount more than the 2,000 rupees. That limit. So it is an immediate requirement. So it should affect, that is regression testing means after making the changes in particular the bank, the changes, okay, it should affect to the everyone. Acceptance testing. Okay, so in acceptance testing there are different types are there: alpha testing, beta testing, gamma testing. Okay, so this is a very important type of testing as it is conducted by quality assurance team who will gauge whether the application meets intended specifications and satisfy the client requirements. Okay, so it is based upon the pre-written scenarios and test cases that use to test the application. Okay, so so normally, like for example, the software, the final software. Okay, so they deploy at client site. They deploy at the client site and they do the test. If the company has developed a exam online exam software, online exam software. Okay, if the company has developed a online examination software for a particular college. Okay, so now what they do, they will deploy this particular software at the college. College is the client. Okay, they will deploy at the college, and they will provide some real-time data like by conducting some mock test. Okay, okay, mock test and all. They will test with some dummy data, some sample data at the client side. They are deployed their software at the client side and they are doing the testing of this particular software, online exam software. So that time they will check whether the particular it is working fine. Okay, the like the question and display. Okay, then the timer, whether it is showing the timer, then performance. Okay, performance at a time, how many people they can attend the test. Okay, whether all the pages are like they're opening their performance, the load testing. Okay, stress testing. Okay, so if there is any other requirement, even the report generation at the admin side. Okay, once the after attending the after completion of the test, a report should generate. Okay, so all such type of the testing is done at the client side. So that is acceptance testing. Okay, acceptance testing is also very important because the normally the way as a student project only, the student project that you do in your laptop. Okay, normally. So suppose if I ask you people to deploy at the college system, then again you need to install all the necessary softwares, libraries, and all. Okay, so so there are if there is any of the files are missing, okay, it won't work properly. Okay, as I think few months back, I think Vishwanath has come to college to I think to explain about his project. I think they have done some hackathon project that is for placement report generation, placement management system, and he was unable to deploy complete project because of the some limitations, because means he has to install all the necessary softwares and all. Okay, so that client side, it is very important because at the end the customer is using the software. Okay, as your company is developing a software, it is for the customer. Okay, so if the software is not working at the customer side only, then there is no use of the software. Okay, so because the customer is paying for that, so that is very important. Okay, okay. So in the next class we'll